A long time ago, I had a boss that emphasized the need for protecting the interior spaces of every client's vehicle that rolled into our shop. Over time, I realized that these small things would ensure that we would see those clients come back for future needs and save me the aggravation of having to deal with getting a stained seat cleaned. I'd like to introduce today's guest, Adam Ward of Slip and Grip. Hello, Adam.
Hey, Mario.
Hey, thanks for joining me. Thanks for joining me.
Cool. Anytime.
Cool. All right. I guess for my first question for my audience, maybe introduce yourself, and could you give us a brief history of Slip and Grip?
Yeah. So my name is Adam. I've been with Slip and Grip, which is a division of Petoskey Plastics. It's crazy to think it'll be 9 years next month. So
wow.
It's been a good start so far. The brief introduction of Slip and Grip, the patent was founded by the owner of our company back in '85. So the brand Slip and Grip is about 35 years old. Yeah, in short, if you look at the logo, it's two layers of plastic that are co-extruded together. And the top layer is, like the name implies, it's slippery.
Right.
The bottom layer has more of like a friction coefficient. It grips the seat like, say, saran wrap. So when you take a seat cover off of the roll, put it on a vehicle seat, the seat cover stays in place when the porter or the technician gets in, kind of rotates themselves into the chair or exits the vehicle. There's some other products like ours out there where it may be more of a mono layer, one layer of plastic that is primarily just going to be maybe that slip coefficient and it doesn't stay in place. Or the mono layers tend to not have the strength or elasticity, the stretch that our seat covers do. So that was where that patent was captured back in the day. And, in short, started up in Michigan. Northern Michigan is where one of our original factories still produces product, and that's where our headquarter office is at. And then Slip and Grip, the automotive aftermarket segment of Petoskey Plastics, that all comes out of our Morristown, Tennessee plant. So it's a pretty interesting operation, when you look at all things, Slip and Grip, from the seat covers, the tire bags, steering wheel covers, and whatnot. So,
cool. So I kind of like. Oh, sorry to interrupt, but I kind of heard that. I guess part of it, you're the owner of the company. I guess kind of got started. You saw a need, or you heard about a need from, I guess it was from Ford Motor Company, and that's kind of what sparked the interest.
Yep, that's exactly right. So back in the day, they had an issue with keeping seats on the production line clean as they went through the manufacturing process. And it sounded like some of the plastic solutions, covering solutions that they were using were not staying in place. And that was when the owner of our company, super savvy guy, former Marine, this is his son is now the president of the company. So it's a family-owned company. He saw the need and found a way to, like I said, co-extrude, two different types of plastic together that would serve the purpose of holding up and staying in place throughout the manufacturing process. Now that's on the OEM side, and Slip and Grip does have an application there where, for example, you see a car hauler truck,
right,
that rolls into a dealership. All the vehicles, majority of the vehicles that come off of that car hauler are going to have Slip and Grip plastic on the inside. Majority of that plastic is going to be Slip and Grip. I think a lot of the dealerships saw that application on the OEM side, and that was when we made an automotive aftermarket version that could be used for vehicle services. And that's where people recognize the Slip and Grip brand.
Okay. But since you bring out on the call hauler bit, that kind of actually, which I know it's not in your catalog, but it kind of like a slight going off sideways a little bit. The exterior paint protection films that are being used, is that something one of your products as well, or is that somebody else's? You know, like those white coverings that you see a lot of cars being covered in? I'm not sure if
So we do offer, we do make a car cover. You know, it's a clear plastic. There are a number of other different products out there. I know, for example, some of the car covers that most people are familiar with. They might be cloth with like the drawstring, or plastic with the elastic band that kind of goes around the bottom.
Gotcha.
That's something a little bit different than what we do on the blown film side of the house. For example, our car cover, it's 25 foot long.
Okay, so your stuff, so that particular cover you would see like in, I'm going to just say, auto body shops as well as regular car shops that want to keep cars dust free. But I'm used to seeing that type of cover from the body and paint side of things. But so that's kind of cool that you guys offer that.
Well, and definitely the way that the Key sort of family has approached things with regards to slip and grip and Petoskey Plastics and several of the other divisions. And if you look at just within the automotive aftermarket division alone, the product diversity is there. I mean, for example, we do the seat covers, and you had alluded to earlier, the touch point, the primary touch point. We live in a COVID, COVID is the new normal. So a lot of people over the last year have focused on, the primary touch points in the vehicle: the seat, the steering wheel, the shifters, the shifter knob or shifter lever, and then obviously the floor. So a seat cover, a floor mat, a steering wheel cover, and a gear shift cover. But beyond those primary items that are used the most, there's also oil change stickers. So like the oil change sticker and printer. If you want to handwrite them, great. If you want to step up your level of professionalism and have a legible message, go to a printer. Doesn't smear, doesn't fade. Prints out a lot faster than most of us can handwrite the date and the mileage.
Right.
Dispatch numbers, key tags. So we try to encompass that service, that consumable service side of dealership needs as best we can. I mean, you're not ever going to cover all of it, but again, we just try to diversify what we have available and what's going to make the most sense.
Oh, that's one of the nice things I liked about when I was going through you guys' catalog, and I'll have a link in the description to their catalog on their website. So if you business entrepreneurs who want to check out their catalog listings, you can check out their offerings, and it's quite extensive. And trust me, I don't know what shop that would not use at least 2 or 3 items from your guys' catalog. My personal opinion. The key tags alone are great, as well as the steering wheel covers, the seat covers, the floor mats. Now I guess the shifter covers as well. But so that's kind of cool. I guess we're getting to an age where everything's being recycled, and I guess I learned recently that I guess a certain percentage of your products now are slowly or have been using recycled materials.
Yes. The thing with recycling, that is going to apply more to, like, say, for example, we manufacture and sell can liners. Now, that's another one. So primarily when people see Petoskey Plastics or Slip and Grip having it's called post-consumer recycle or PCR content, they see our can liners, because those are one of the few in the industry that have such a high PCR content. Our bags are 70%. The Green Core line of can liners are 70% post-consumer recycled content. There are applications, and I'm trying not to misspeak here, because some products people have asked for some post-consumer recycled content. As you know, sometimes that manufacturing process can add to the cost, so people aren't always too apt to buy, for example, seat covers that cost more if we're putting recycled content in them. Now that being said, with the price changes over the last year, the ability to use recycled material to help offset those increases, because now it's something that we can recycle and make ourselves and not have to buy, that does help. That being said, recycled content is not as clear. It kind of gives a hazy look to it. It's also not as strong as a virgin material. So with some items, the can liners in particular, they have the two outside layers, which are virgin, the stronger virgin plastic, and then sandwiched in between them is the post-consumer recycle. So that way you do get post-consumer recycled content, but you also get the strength that you need in the bag. And then that way you can kind of come out with a product that's not obviously overpriced or priced out of the market, but it serves the purpose of, for example, a lot of universities like the PCR content bags, or some places where you get those lead points. Again, it's been a little while since I spent some time in the Green Corps division. It's been a few years. So again, I'm trying to make sure I get those facts correct. And maybe for a later podcast topic, you could talk with one of our Green Corps guys. They could definitely fill you in on that. But
yeah, definitely.
There has been talk though about rolling out some product with post-consumer recycled content, and advertising it for those who, say on the West Coast, who are more cognizant of recycling, and it's a growing trend on the East Coast as well, where people want recycled content products, whether it's the straws or there's tires, or there's different retread tires or different things like that, where you're giving something a second life.
Yeah, and in the auto industry, they've been doing it. Even with motor oils and antifreeze coolants. All they're doing is cleaning it up, reformulating it, and rebranding it as not tier 1 type of oils, but maybe a second go around type tier of oil that still has a SAE protecting qualities that meet those needs still. All they're really doing is filtering out the contaminants, I guess, is what they're doing.
Right. And if it's remanufactured to meet the specs, then why can't you give your life on and give another life out there?
Exactly. Okay, just for a brief, for our folks who are watching this podcast on social media, on YouTube, instead of just listening to the audio podcast, I'm going to break for a moment and show a trailer testimonial of a customer who received that is using one of your racks, and we'll get right back into the conversation. So stay tuned.
Slip and Grip is a good quality product. It protects our clients' investments as well as protects our employees, especially during this time of COVID. It protects them from touching surfaces that may have not been sterilized or we may have missed upon a cleaning process when we check them in. The seat covers protect the seat. The gear shift lever protects the gear shift lever, obviously. The floor mats protect the floor. We could not complain that there is any issue with the product at all.
Okay, welcome back. So yeah, based on that testimonial video there, if a shop would like to order a similar display rack option, the oil reminder tags that you guys offer in your catalog, where can they go to find your products or to order them? Do you have do they go directly to you guys, or do they go through a distributor?
So Slip and Grip, we sell through distribution only, and the best way, if you have, for example, your buddy's shop, if he was looking to continue sourcing some of these products, best way for him, he can either reach out to us and we'll put him in touch with a distributor in his area, or if he knows of a distributor in his area, you can go through, got a number of national distributors to go through who, if you Google Slip and Grip online, there's a good handful of them on there. Or, again, we can do a little bit of searching in our database to find a local, or as close to local as possible, distributor of Slip and Grip products.
Okay. Cool. Don't know if we want to talk numbers or not, but generally if a brand new shopper, or somebody wants to start carrying your products, is there like a general cost, or do you have a general idea about what it's going to take for your initial investment, or is that varies too much?
Typically, like I'm looking at a distributor right now online, and that startup kit that you mentioned, Mario.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. So I'm seeing it online for $376, and that'll get you the roll of our premium seat covers, a roll of 250 premium seat covers, which, to touch on the seat covers, we've got a value version, a premium version, a heavy duty version, and then we've got something beyond that called a seat jacket. It's near bulletproof. It's 2 mil thick plastic. It's big. I actually carry 2 or 3 of them in my vehicle, in the off chance that I'm, bebopping around in the woods or whatever and get muddy out fishing, or if I'm dirty doing whatever, I need to take the car to the store for a second. I'm not going to have my wife on my case saying, Adam, you trashed the seats, or you got, mud all over the steering wheel covers or steering wheel. So I usually carry, like I said, a couple of seat jackets and a bundle of steering wheel covers in my vehicle. But, back to your point about the startup kit, I'm looking online, so between $350 and $400, you can get the dispensing rack, the roll of 250 seat covers. There's a box of 500 paper floor mats. The paper floor mats that are included in there, it's a treated paper, so that way it doesn't shred the second it gets wet. We're out of Michigan, so we see all sorts of inclement weather in the same day. Not let alone we get all 4 seasons. So you got some decent floor mats. I mentioned you get some steering wheel covers in there. We've finally been able to include those back in there because a lot of people know that there have been shortages in a number of different industries. So we finally got those back. There's some parts bags, tire bags, and then also a roll of plastic floor mats. And those all come on a dispensing rack kit. So that'll get you started, at least on the service side. Again, there's other products that say, you'd mentioned your buddy's shop. Typically, somebody's going to use on a vehicle, they're going to use a seat cover, a floor mat, a steering wheel cover, now a gear shift cover. There's those 4 primary products. Some places like a dealership where they are turning out literally thousands of services a month. They may be using the dispatch numbers. They might be using the oil change stickers and the service reminder stickers. And you had mentioned like the key tags. Everybody's using the key tags. So those are the primary products that people are using. And I mean, best thing, Google search Slip and Grip, and that'll pull you up to a number of distributors and our product catalog as well if you're looking on our website. Cool.
Definitely. Yeah, for the audience, because I know there are a lot of, face the fact, a lot of people, because of what 2020 has put everyone through, there are a lot of guys who've been, I guess the word, furloughed, and now they have the skill set, but they're not ready to retire. So I have a feeling a lot of them are going to be starting up their own businesses. So, and this would probably be an opportunity for your company as well for them to meet up and start a new long-term relationship, I think, is the way I look at it.
Yeah.
So.
And we certainly value the opportunity to work with the distributors who can service and partner with these shops out there. Other places you can catch us or learn more about us. The Apex show. We're out there in Las Vegas every year. When they have it. It sounds like it'll be a live show this year. I know, Mario, you and I met at the Apex show, the virtual Apex show this past year. But that's a show that we always go to.
Yeah.
The car wash show, for example, it's kind of a hit or miss. It depends, but we've been out there in years past. Again, for car washes, detail shops, somebody looking to again brand themselves. Custom floor mats. That's a huge one where you only have to buy 3 boxes. 3 boxes of 500 mats, and you can put your logo on it. There's some people who can do like coupons for a referral, a discount, or whatever. But a lot of flexibility there, and just that opportunity to get your brand out in front of somebody's face to generate that repeat business. So again, any opportunity we have to partner with distributors who can facilitate that, we're all on board.
Yeah, definitely. Well, since you brought up, I guess, Apex and SEMA and everything and the talks of it, and maybe it's too soon, but have you guys made a decision whether or not you guys as a company will be out there this year to display, or are you going to be take a year off?
No, we'll be out there. We'll be out at Apex in November.
Okay. Definitely we'll have to meet up because, yeah, that's my gearing because of, I think 90% of my content comes from that show. So it's like that's where I build my business relationships. And
that's a great place to gather content.
Yeah, definitely. Probably the last question I'm going to ask. So, any new innovative products you have for 2021, or are you guys going to hold off and introduce it at Apex this year, or you can or cannot say?
What I can say right now is that at this point, the newest product that we released, and I guess this was would have been pushing a year ago now, would have been we started making a steering wheel cover. Excuse me. Previously we sourced those from overseas, the double banded elastic version or the single banded shower cap style. Last year this time we sold everything in like a matter of I think it was like 4 days. We sold months and months of inventory in a matter of like less than a week, and we had a lot of people who were upset. They're like, I need these steering wheel covers. And one of our sales guys and one of the engineers got together and said, what can we make that's the closest thing to that? And we had a couple of different iterations of it, and eventually we had steering wheel covers on a roll. It was definitely something out of the box kind of idea, and it served the purpose. It was awkward and people didn't really like it, but we sold a lot of them. I mean,
and we're living in a new trying time, so I think it fit the demand. Yes.
Yeah, it was one of those things where we like a lot of these products over the last year. You can't make enough of them, and you can't make them fast enough. Given the shortages and the freight issues and whatnot. But that's the newest thing we've launched. I know another item we've been looking into more and more over the last couple of years, and we're still trying to fine tune it, but with the oil change stickers, making a double-sided label, so that way it's essentially like a mobile billboard on somebody's windshield. And we've seen a lot of people on the car wash side, the detail side, and some dealerships. This is still fairly new for us, and they're not cheap. I can tell you that, because you have, double the material, double the labor involved in producing these products. But the double-sided label, it is kind of cool when you see it. I mean, think of it an oil change sticker in the upper left-hand corner of your windshield. Well, now if you're walking through the parking lot and you happen to see you happen to be looking for that sticker, but you see it, and now instead of just seeing a little white decal in the upper corner of someone's windshield, that decal is going to have a logo on it and a phone number. So that way, for a car wash, for example, like, oh man, that's a sharp-looking whatever car.
Right. Well, that's interesting.
There's a sticker right next to it. Oh, flash detail, and hey, there's the phone number. I'm just going to snap a photo of it. I can tell you I've done that with vehicles going on a walk, pushing the stroller. I'm like, oh, well, I need a new driveway or whatever, and snap a photo of it, call that number. So this is kind of the same principle, mobile detail.
So is that product ready to go, or is that in the works still, in development?
It's a custom product, so it's not something we stock, but
right.
If somebody would call in and say, Adam, I got a customer and this is what he's considering, what do you have? And we can kind of go through what the options are. Obviously, it's going to be a white static cling sticker, but there's typically like a 3-week lead time, give or take, when you're coming in on the production schedule. And then it's pretty much as simple as that. You send us your artwork, we'll turn out approved, send it over to you, you approve it. And the same goes for custom tire bags or custom floor mats. Okay. But we'll put together proof and
definitely. Definitely this year or in November at Apex. I'm assuming you'll have that product on maybe or a version of it on display, and we'll have to look into that a little bit more when you get it. So I'm assuming that the custom logo portion will be printed or made during the manufacturing process of the stickers themselves. And then the added detailed information, your guys' printers adds on that information afterwards as an afterthought, the way I'm understanding it.
No, that's precisely it, Mario. So for the oil change stickers, again, assuming that they're going through a printer, I mean, some people, right, they choose to handwrite them still, but if you get your custom logo on the sticker, that sticker's going to be pre-printed with your logo on it.
Right.
And, yes, you'll put that roll of stickers in the printer. The printer will ask you what your next service date, return date. Punch in the info, hit print, and then it prints it on the verbiage on the sticker, the message on the sticker.
Yeah, I'm kind of jealous of some of these shops that have those printers now. From when I had to do them, yes, I was one of those guys who had to handwrite them, and it's like, it would have been so much easier to have a machine to be able to do that for me.
Oh, for sure. Well, the other thing, and it's not something most people pay attention to until maybe you're a little bit more close to that side of the process, or like the business. Mm-hmm. I work with these things every day, so my vehicle service, and over the 9 years I've been with the company, it's just one of those things you look up now every time you get in your vehicle and you're like, oh yeah, oil change sticker, this one's ours. Oh yeah, this one was handwritten and I can't read it and it's falling off.
Or the other aspect, when they handwritten, they were out in the sun, they get baked, they fade away because of the UV light.
Yes.
From the inks that are in the pens or whatever that they use to handwrite it.
Yep. One of the funniest things when I have a customer and a distributor customer come up to me and say, Adam, I got this customer and he's got a handwritten sticker. He wants to put his logo on it. I'm like, okay, we can certainly do that. That being said, there is a print plate or art setup charge associated with that custom sticker. Also, if we're going to go from generic to custom, there is an order minimum,
right?
Because it's in manufacturing, it's machine runtime. How long can you keep that machine running? That's going to tell me what my cost is and what cost savings I can pass on to you. If they go that route and they're willing to spend the extra money on the plate charge and they're willing to invest more money in a stock of labels, minimum order, I would ask them, like, why don't you just take the extra step and spend the money now up front and get a printer for yourself. And that way you're taking the full step and professionalizing your image. If you're going to put your logo on something, you certainly don't want to mitigate those efforts by having what appears to be second grade, handwriting that's, fading or smeared because somebody had to rub their thumb across it to get the label.
Just stick it on the windshield, yeah.
Right. So, I typically just ask people, how long are you keeping how long are your customers keeping their air tools for? How long are they keeping their, anything, whatever widget that, whatever tool you have in your shop, how long do you typically expect those to last? Like, okay, if you buy this printer, and we have them out there, I've got, I could probably count them on both hands, but there are 12-plus-year-old printers out there. If you take care of them, beat on them. And I know that automotive aftermarket environment is not known for being gentle. I totally get that. But if you take care of your equipment, for the most part, these printers will last you 8, 10 plus years, and they'll give you that professional image that every time you get in your vehicle, you're like, oh yeah, I got my vehicle serviced here. Like, oh yeah, that's my guy, that's my gal.
Right. Now, are the printers thermal based, or are they like ink based or ribbon based? I mean, like for the materials, any consumables in the printer themselves?
Mm-hmm. So and that's a great question, Mario. The ink ribbon, you hit on that. It is a thermal ink ribbon. So there's a take up core and there's a feed core, and it just feeds that ribbon across the print head as the label prints out, and that print head, melts and bonds that ink ribbon. It's like a wax resin, essentially, but it bonds that wax resin to the vinyl sticker, and that's what gives it that crisp, sharp message print, as well as you can't smear the stuff. You can't smear the stuff when you go to adhere it on, and then also, whatever Texas, California sun, Nevada sun, you're not gonna fade the thermal ink. So it's not a liquid ink like most people are thinking of when they have like a computer print or something like that. It's a thermal ink ribbon.
Cool. So if people want to find you on social media, your company on social media, or your official website, where can we send them to?
Best place is if you pull up your web browser, you can find us at slipandgrip.com, spelled out SLIPN, like the letter N, November, grip, GRIP. Slipandgrip.com. You can find us on LinkedIn. You can find us on Facebook. We're on YouTube. We got a channel there that'll show you, some of our product line items. There's some printer troubleshooting videos, how to install an ink ribbon, different things like that. So it's the regular website, or another one to go to is petoskeyplastics.com, and I know that's a fun one to try and spell, but if you use your good friend Google, Petoskey Plastics, Slip and Grip, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, those are going to be your best bets.
Perfect. All right, Adam, I appreciate you coming on, and hopefully we'll be seeing each other in November, and I'll be able to buy you a cold one after the show hours or something.
Yeah, all about it, likewise. And I appreciate you, Mario. We appreciate this opportunity. And, if you ever have questions from your audience or your listeners, feel free to send them my way or send them my info. I'll be happy to answer them and help them out however we can. So thank you for the opportunity. And again, it's been a long time coming, and likewise, I hope we get to see you at the Apex show this year too.
All righty, perfect. And I'm going to end this show up with be sure to, if you like this video, if you're seeing it on YouTube, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed that yet, and leave a comment down below and share it out, because the YouTube AI loves that type of stuff. Till next time, later guys.